Live from our hurricane headquarters with real-time analysis from some of the nation's top meteorologists, this is Tracking the Tropics, powered by Bose Generators.
Welcome to this week's edition of Tracking the Tropics. The good news is there's not much to talk about. The bad news is we get really nerdy when there's not much to talk about, and that's certainly going to be the case today. I'm meteorologist Rebecca Berry here at the WFLA Streaming Center, and I'm joined by meteorologist Juliana Mejia. She has been our Tracking the Tropics graphic superstar. She's been hard at work all this morning because we're going to talk nerdy to you. We're talking about Saharan dust all episode long, but first, let's get the good news out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. It is quiet across the tropics. It is quiet, at least across the Atlantic basin, I should say. Things are a lot more active over the Pacific, which we'll get into in a little bit. But, you know, the Saharan dust working its magic. It's still early in the season as well. So not necessarily out of the norm for things to be quiet across the Atlantic, but it is certainly what we like to see. So kind of jumping right into it when it comes to Saharan dust, you know, I've seen other meteorologists across the country because Saharan dust can be far-reaching. It's not just here in Florida where we can see it and feel the impacts from it. Depending on, you know, the circulation on a given day, on a given week, this dust can reach all the way up into the Midwest and northern United States. So I have seen comments on not only, you know, my posts from time to time, but other meteorologists across the country where people are like, is that really from the Saharan desert? Like, is it dust all the way from Africa? Yes, the answer is yes. So this is because of the West African monsoon season. They kind of have almost like two waves of it. So it kind of starts up in June and then leading into July, it almost kicks into gear, a little bit more of a high gear. So then we can see greater plumes, thicker plumes of Saharan dust really get lofted. So what happens is these thunderstorms literally end up lofting Saharan dust about 5 to sometimes upwards of 10, 15,000 feet up, which then gets carried by the trade winds. These easterly trade winds literally carry it thousands of miles across the Atlantic, over towards the Caribbean, the Gulf, here across Florida, the Bahamas. And this can, you know, take days. This can spend weeks aloft in the air, and reach areas like Florida and other parts of the United States. So here's a look at the current forecast. So we are actually watching for our first really thick plume here in Florida through the next couple of days. And then I think even into the weekend, we could probably see some more of it. Now looking to other parts of the Gulf Coast as well, for some impacts from Saharan dust. And here's also a breakdown as well, kind of to visualize, you know, how this then affects the tropics, because, you know, why would dust get in the way if you don't, you know, are not familiar with the key ingredients when it comes to tropical activity, because this is the biggest benefit. We'll kind of go over some other pros and cons as well here in just a second. But, you know, key tropical ingredients, we need abundant moisture in the atmosphere. Can't have a hurricane without a whole bunch of moisture. We need water temperatures around, if not above, 80 degrees in the Atlantic, Caribbean, Gulf. So now Saharan dust, when that becomes a part of the equation, sunlight can't penetrate as much, especially when it's a thick plume of Saharan dust. It will behave very much like cloud cover. And then drier air overall is just taking away from one of the key ingredients, moisture. So we can actually see some sunlight getting reflected back into the upper parts of the atmosphere. That means less sunlight is not going to cook the sea surface temperatures or the ocean as much as it tends to, which isn't, you know, the sole reason why sea surface temperatures are average, if not even a little below average across the Atlantic right now. But it's certainly helping.
Absolutely. I read a statistic that when the Saharan air layer enters the atmosphere, it's about 50% drier than typical tropical moisture. And so if you think about it, like if you took away half of the moisture, that's really going to rob the storms of their ability to form. And also when that dust enters, just like you were just showing on there, it promotes downdraft. So let's say a storm that was formed and healthy moved into an area full of Saharan dust, the downdrafts and that suppression would also cause that storm to weekend. So the best news is when you don't get anything spinning up out there because of Saharan dust, but it's also really great when a storm has formed but enters that Saharan dust layer. The other interesting fact about the Saharan air layer is the wind speeds are incredibly faster and within a Saharan air layer than anywhere else, where they're talking about 25 to 55 miles per hour faster in a typical Saharan air layer. So that shear itself is going to basically squash any development, because hurricanes, they feed themselves and they strengthen and they remain intense because of vertical development. So when you have that shear out there, you're absolutely, that's a storm killer right there.
Interesting. These are all some fun facts I did not know. At least the specifics there, which is pretty cool to know. And you know, and again, not going to completely credit Saharan dust here, but wouldn't be surprised if that's, you know, part of the high pocket of wind shear that we have traversing the Atlantic, working its way over the next few days towards the Caribbean. So that's also part of what is, you know, keeping things nice and quiet. And it is interesting, like you said, with promoting downdrafts, and locally, when we have that like pocket of drier air aloft, what we can see is some locally stronger storms, not necessarily tropical systems, but like our day-to-day thunderstorms can actually be enhanced a little bit, and we can see more lightning, so on and so forth. So that kind of falls into the cons category, because we don't our thunderstorms are strong enough here in Florida as is. So when it comes to the pros, because shockingly, yes, there are upsides to this, because one, our favorite, suppresses tropical activity. But from there, we can actually get some really pretty sunrises and sunsets. I've kind of been seeing that, I think, a little bit with some of these light concentrations of dust. The main reason for this, really the primary reason for this, is because of scattering. It scatters light differently. So you'll actually scatter more of the blues and purples, and it'll allow through more of the red hues of light, you know, oranges, pinks, so on and so forth.
And that has to do with the particle size of the dust. And so we get Rayleigh scattering when particles are smaller than the light part, but the dust particles are actually about the size of the red and the orange wavelengths. And that's why we get those more vibrant sunsets. Also, the lower the sun gets on the sky, on the horizon, the more atmosphere it's traveling through, the more opportunity it has to scatter like that. Mm-hmm. And so even though it makes for kind of hazy days, we don't get those beautiful blue sky days. Man, those sunsets are just so beautiful, especially because we don't get many clouds when we have a lot of, and so it's just going to be clear sky sunsets.
I like distinctly remember some of these sunsets that I've seen over the last several years that you almost feel like you're on Mars or something.
Yes,
it feels
that's
otherworldly.
Exactly how it is. It's kind of ethereal out there, but it's great picture lighting. Just
it
FYI.
Is really very picturesque. You know, and also interesting is that the because it's very iron rich dust that can actually fertilize the Amazon rainforest. It can be now there it can impact in a negative way our coral reefs, but this can also feed ocean phytoplankton. So it's a little bit of like kind of a it's a balance, a healthy balance, maybe we want to call it.
Yes, I am a little worried about the water temperatures down in the Keys, because it does make for the drier conditions, the sunnier conditions, and the sea surface temperatures in the Keys are on the edge of bleaching, unfortunately. This time of the year, that is become typical, unfortunately. But I'm a little worried about the Keys water temperatures going up, those critical few more degrees, to make it a little more dangerous for the coral reefs out there.
Yeah, and it's easy, you know, because we've been talking about it the last couple of weeks here on Tracking the Tropics. It's easy to, you know, it is a lighthearted thing where it's hot, it's bathwater, it's nasty, but it does start to tip over into that critical level of 90+ degree waters, and where we've seen these years past of some obscenely hot sea surface temperatures that then become, you know, problematic for coral reefs, dangerous for marine life, so on and so forth. But yeah, then also, you know, when it comes to even us, you know, if you're looking at like human impact, Saharan dust can lower air quality, and it can lower air quality substantially, enough so that people will be sneezing, people will like, you know, feel a tickle, if not like really get kind of bogged down by Saharan dust. And this is typically the time of year where we kind of see, which again, it's according to the monsoon season. So it's usually this late summer, and then it quickly drops off right in time then for what turns into the peak of hurricane season.
Yes, and the Saharan dust is usually about 2 to 2.5 miles thick, but it's usually about a mile above us. And so our respiratory conditions depend heavily on how much mixing down that does through that mile, how much of that dust makes it down the mile to the surface. And a lot of times it depends heavily on our surface winds as well. You know, it might not be as bad along the coast, but it might be a little worse in Orlando or a little worse over along the East Coast if we have strong westerly winds. And so there's a lot of factors that go into how bad it actually ends up bothering people. But it bothers typical people that typically already battle other respiratory issues. It typically doesn't bother a quote unquote normal person.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're in Florida, that's just a heads up that at the end of this week.
Oh,
yeah. There's kind of just a rough idea here of I think Thursday, Friday, maybe, at least South Florida is probably going to see this the longest, but backing off a little bit before it looks like another plume is, hanging out over the area for at least most of the weekend into early next week. And that's, the downside here is that this is looking to dry out our forecast a little bit. So rain chances back off as of now for Tampa Thursday, kind of leading into Friday. And then I wouldn't be surprised to see our forecast models adjust depending on how this dust plays out, because it does look like we could get dry again by the end of the weekend and maybe next week. And we've talked about it the last few weeks as well. Like, we could use not gonna wish for anything like a tropical system, but we could use a weak tropical system to give us a good soaking to keep, fighting off drought conditions. But it's just not looking like it. And anything that's out there, any tropical waves right now are just unexciting. The environment isn't great for them to do anything. And this is literally all that's on the map right now.
I know, it's been so quiet. It does feel like we finally worked into rainy season locally over the past week and a half, but this drier air that's moving in is going to basically squash that until we get more moisture moving in. And so we talk about it all the time. Sometimes you need like a weak tropical storm to kind of catch you up on rain, and this is one of those years. And because we do expect El Nino to be so strong, the possibility of a homegrown storm or a storm that forms really close to land and would inherently be weaker as a result, like a tropical storm, that is a little more likely. Even as we work our way into later seasons, she's got the tropical development up there for July, and that's kind of where we expect those to develop. And El Nino wouldn't necessarily squish chances in the Gulf or out over the Eastern Atlantic there. It's more August that El Nino would be keeping quiet, as you can see from that map. Yeah,
having more of what's the word I'm looking for? Like an impact, or having more of a say in what goes on. Now, we were talking about it's so quiet in the Atlantic, but I did want to bring in the Pacific.
I love a storm not headed our way that looks pretty on the satellite.
Yeah. This is a beast of a storm. This is Super Typhoon Bavi. So we talked about this in the midday show earlier today. This is a Category 5 equivalent typhoon. For those of you that maybe are not familiar, typhoons are no different. They are tropical systems, just as we call hurricanes. It's just a naming mechanism. So different regions of the world will call them a hurricane here. They'll call them typhoons over in the Western Pacific. So they also have their own naming kind of lists that they go through. Each country, like Cambodia, China, Japan, they'll all submit their own contributions to the name list, and then Japan's weather service or their tropical forecasting office will pick the names throughout the season. So this is Bavi. They're actually on, and it doesn't seem, from what I've gathered, they don't go through alphabetical order, which of course, it's different. They're using characters for, I'm sure, their end of things.
Yes.
So Bavi's actually the 9th named storm for the Western Pacific so far.
And so they're in the thick of their season, really.
They're at the thick of their season, yeah. And the Eastern Pacific, it starts, 2 weeks earlier, May 15th, whereas our season starts June 1st. So it's normal for the Pacific to kind of kick things off and get more active than us in the Atlantic. But yeah, Bavi made landfall in Rota. It's part of Micronesia. I want to say maybe yesterday, if not early this morning, as a Category 5 equivalent. Oh, this is just going to keep looping. Let me see if I can just hold it here.
Okay.
It's almost 1,000 miles. I think at one point it was over 1,000 miles wide. It's kind of just a rough estimate here, 950-ish miles wide at kind of its widest part. And this is forecast to keep kind of trekking here to like the west northwest, bringing impacts to part of southern Japan. I should say Japan's southern islands. Taiwan is kind of in that forecast cone for them, as well as parts of China.
Wow, that is a monster of a storm.
Yes, it does. It is very impressive on satellite imagery, that's for sure.
And I didn't see any signs that it was going to be weakening anytime soon. So unfortunately, this is going to be the one to watch on satellites for a couple of days.
Yeah. It sounds like in the long run, it should encounter some wind shear that will hopefully kind of unravel it a little bit. But it's definitely looking healthy.
I wish we could send them some of our Saharan dust to help out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not how it works. This is an interactive program. And so if you have any comments or questions, we can answer them live here. You just need to use one of our hashtags, hashtag Hey Rebecca or hashtag Hey Juliana. That allows us to pull your comments into our system. And with that, let's kick off our live Q&A. All right. Hashtag Hey Rebecca. Why are typhoons in the Western Pacific seeming much more stronger than our counterpart hurricanes here in the Atlantic? And that is kind of a question that's basically just the way the atmosphere works because of the Coriolis force and the way the Earth spins and the region that these storms develop in. It's much more conducive. They do get the warmer temperatures there. And also they start with a bigger seed, if you will. We start with basically nothing that has to spin up out in the open Atlantic, or we start with the thunderstorms that roll off the coastline of Africa that start to spin, and they actually start with bigger storm complexes to begin with, and so that helps them or hurts them actually, because they get the bigger, stronger systems. Their systems do tend to be wider. They also tend to be stronger. They get to that Cat 5 status just like this. There's a lot less the region that they develop in, there's a lot less friction from wind shear, and so that's just kind of a quiet area for storms to kind of fester.
Yeah, and all of this makes sense intuitively when you just think of how vast and how massive the Pacific is.
Yes.
And how those tiny islands are, nothing. They do not stand in the way at all of these kinds of tropical systems.
No, they don't have much of an impact. It's just such an open area compared to the rest of the world. They don't have a lot of land interaction, not a lot of continents, if you will, for them to be rubbing up against or anything weakening them. And this next featured comment is about our Saharan dust. And so I'm going to send it over to Juliana. Is Saharan dust bad for people with asthma or allergies?
Well, that's a great question. And yes, I don't want to say, like objectively, it can just be very irritating, and much more so for people with asthma, for people with allergies. So report back. If you feel tickled, if you feel extra bothered this weekend, if you're here in Florida, let us know if you do or do not, feel it for yourself. But this will probably be the first kind of proper thick plume that gets and reaches Florida here in the next few days.
And it can reach as far to the west as Texas. Sometimes we get the plumes, the really thick, healthy plumes that make it all the way over to Texas. And it looks like this is one of those. And it also looks like in the long-term forecast models, this is not the only one.
Yeah.
We got a parade of dust plumes lined up to head our way.
Yeah.
So if you catch any of those hazy sunsets, we want to see your pictures. That's my favorite part.
Send us your pictures.
Yeah, we love that. And Danny P asking about, when did Saharan dust start coming to the USA?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah. And so that's just a function of also how the Coriolis force works with the trade winds. And so basically it's a tale as old as time. The trade winds have always been pushing over from the Saharan, pushing that dust over. It's not like sargassum, because I feel like we've been reading a lot about sargassum lately, which is the seaweed, because there used to be a huge patch of sargassum out in the open Atlantic that just stayed in the open Atlantic, but it got disrupted by a huge storm. And then it really thrived in the tropical waters. And now sargassum is an unfortunate byproduct of misplaced sargassum.
Interesting. I didn't know that about sargassum.
Yeah, so we didn't used to have the giant sargassum washing on shore in South Beach, because it was all out in the open Atlantic in an area that was not inhospitable to it, but certainly not as hospitable as the warm tropical waters. And so that the sargassum's kind of taken over the tropics a bit.
Interesting.
Ooh, and then we're going our next comment, hashtag Hey Juliana, where will this end up, Taiwan or mainland China? And so that is going back to our big monster system we were watching in the Pacific. And so we're going to pull up the satellite here so you can see the overview of it right there. It is such a huge, huge storm. It looks like the Philippines are kind of first up, right, Juliana?
Yes, yeah, I wanted to, I wish I had the forecast cone, but we can put it into motion here. Because, yeah, from what I had gathered, I think portions of the Philippines will definitely feel it. If not, though, it is both, because I think this person had mentioned both Taiwan and China, both are, in that forecast cone in the long run over the next several days. So I think probably portions of the Philippines, if not for sure Taiwan, probably by Friday, you'll start hearing about impacts.
Okay. And unfortunately, with these types of systems hit, it does usually remove communications for a bit because it's just such a monster. It's such a monster. But hopefully everyone is prepared. Yeah. Because we've had that, not quite the feeling of super typhoon bearing down on us, but we've all been in the cone of concern before. We've all had that feeling of helplessness, and all you can do is all you can do, unfortunately.
Yeah, and from what I'd seen, it looks like the max winds have so far been up to about 180 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
So this is almost as strong as it gets, more or less, and it comes to these really massive tropical systems. So we'll see how it may or may not ease up in the next few days. But I think Guam, the weather service in Guam, had gotten a gust of about 111 miles per hour.
Ooh, and whenever there's a system this strong, you always start to hear the question, should we have a Category 6 hurricane? Mm-hmm. And that's always something that people talk about, but really it's unnecessary because it can't really, this is as strong as it gets. Yeah. It doesn't get much stronger than this. And so I don't think people are going to treat a Category 6 any differently than they would treat a Category 5, which is the whole reason we categorize them, is to help people prepare and understand what they can expect.
Yeah.
All right, last call for questions. Use one of our comments or use one of our hashtags, hashtag Hey Rebecca or hashtag Hey Juliana. We're going to be wrapping up this Super Saharan Dust episode for you. Also peeking in on Super Typhoon Bavi, that monster of a storm out in the Pacific. Not headed our way, thank goodness. But if you do have any comments or questions, go ahead and drop them in the comment box. And the good news, those tropical waves looking pretty benign.
Cool. Sorry, I didn't know if we had another question or not.
No, I'm waiting for him. I don't see any questions. So I don't. Ooh, is that a yellow blob in the Pacific? That's
yes, new. Yeah. They've got both a yellow blob and a orange blob.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, they've got two, and they're on what? They're about to go into their E name.
Yeah,
they've had about 4 in the Eastern Pacific.
They are a little ahead of us, and it looks like they're going to stay a little ahead of us because no tropical development is expected over the next few weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up from the streaming center here at WFLA, streaming live for our next star stations all around the tropics. Thank you so much for all your graphics work, Juliana, and all your Saharan dust expertise. Any parting thoughts?
Ooh, let's keep it this way.
Yes.
Let's keep with this streak.
Yes. And if there's anything you would like to do a deep dive in on next week, in case things are quiet, we might do AI forecasting. We might do something else. We've got some ideas, but if there's anything you want to hear about, drop it in the comment section and we will do a deep dive for you because we are your tropics meteorologists from the WFLA Streaming Center with your weekly episode of Tracking the Tropics. If there are any systems that form up or any areas of concern, we will hop right on and stream for you live and let you know exactly what's going on. Have a great week, guys.